Hey guys, Dustin Deline here, and you're listening to Brewing Well podcast. Today we have Ashia Vadell, local businesswoman and veteran in the Minot, North Dakota region. Today we talk about Ashia's upbringing from her first businesses all the way up to her real estate. So grab your coffee, and I hope you enjoy.
To the Brewing Well podcast, episode 5. We have Ashia Vadell here. She is an entrepreneur and real estate agent and veteran. Hey Ashia, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Is this your first podcast?
It is.
Yes? So you've never done any kind of interview or nothing? Okay.
No.
So let's dive right in. Ashia, can you please explain your life story? I know I wanted you to come onto the podcast because I understand that you are somebody that's, in my eyes, very motivational, and you've gone through a lot. So I want people to know and hear from you and hear your story. So let's start with that.
Oh boy, well.
And it can be brief. You don't have to go.
I was gonna say, life story is a long time, right? Okay, so let's start with growing up with 9. There was 9 of us, and only one before me went to college, and I'm second to the baby. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I wanted to have a different footstep, or wanted to make different footsteps instead of following in the siblings before me. I wanted to make my own way, so I started out by going to college, which was again different than anybody else in my family, and other than one older sister. And next was a military career, which again was different than any of my other siblings. My brother did a few stints in the Army. So it was the United States Air Force that brought me to Minot, North Dakota. And I also absolutely love the fact that you can be free. You can do what you want to do. You can go where you want to go. So once I decided to leave my military career, I went into real estate, which gave me the freedom to travel, which I absolutely love to do. And it also gave me the ability to work not from an office setting, but from anywhere.
Okay, nice.
Even a beach.
Nice. If I'm correct, you did start a business, right, in Minot?
Yes, I've started a few businesses. One, I opened the first multicultural day spa and salon in not only the Minot area, but pretty much in the state of North Dakota. And so our pool was everywhere from Newtown, Minot Air Force Base. We bring in people from all over, all different nationalities, from Filipino to Korean to African American to Hispanic, Puerto Rican, you name it. And we just wanted one central place for everyone to come, no matter what hair type, no matter what skin type, that you could get services. And those services pretty much went into beauty aspects, better skin, better hair, nails. So I started that. I no longer own that business. I did sell it, and it's going strong today with a different owner under different ownership. So that was one business, and then I started a proven business. That was one of my latest adventures, and that's been going strong for almost 6 years now. So that is an amazing, and it's health and wellness as well.
Nice. That's awesome. Now, let's touch back on your first business. Is that the one that was downtown Minot on Main Street?
Correct.
And then you sold that one to now the barbershop that's down there, right?
Correct.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
Yes, people's choice, and a lot of their focus is barbershop, if that's a word.
Yeah.
If it's not, I just made it.
Yeah.
And just absolutely amazing. I love that they are still going strong.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, with real estate, you seem pretty busy. And now, do you also have homes that you invest in? Like, have you bought any houses and then like rented them out at all? Is that what you do, like apartment buildings and whatnot?
Oh, absolutely. You kind of want to. I feel you need to invest where you lay. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but selling real estate, you do studying, seeing the trends, knowing that it's one of the safer investments. People typically will always need a place to lay their heads. Real estate is one thing that has created actually millionaires. I am not a millionaire yet, but so yeah, I've dabbled in a few duplexes, fourplexes. I've owned single family homes, own a few now, even though I've started kind of selling some off, but we'll always own real estate. It's such a great, solid.
And technically, your assets would call you a millionaire. Technically.
Oh yes.
The businesses that you had would call you a millionaire. So technically, you are a millionaire because you're getting a cash flow, of things, and those assets can make you a millionaire. Anybody that's wanting to buy a house, what would you say to them? Like, is it a good investment for anybody under the age of like 25 to buy a house? In your personal opinion?
Absolutely.
And why do you think so?
Well, again, it's solid.
Okay.
Real estate is a solid investment. It can increase, it can decrease, but it's usually in small increments.
And I mean buy a house to actually like live in it. Not for investment wise, just buy it and live in it. Under the age of 25.
Oh, because you're gaining your own equity.
Mm-hmm.
When you're renting, which not everybody is in a position to buy a home. So let's just start there. But when you are renting, you are paying the landlord, who the landlord is paying their lender for the property. So technically, as a renter, you are buying a home, but you're just buying it for someone else.
Yeah.
When you invest and buy a home that you own, the money goes from you, say, to the lender. So now you're gaining what's called equity. Your equity gain is the roof over your head. That's an asset. It's no longer just that liability that paying rent would be. So absolutely, the sooner you can buy a home, the better.
I agree with the building your own equity part. I don't know if I entirely agree with buying a house till under 25. I mean, I guess, and just to live in it. I think buying a house under 25 and then, maybe flipping it for a later, bigger profit, is more of my goals. But for other people that are on the goals of just like, getting in and selling into a house, awesome. You're still building equity by, buying your own home. When it comes to apartment buildings, what would you have? What's your thought process on that?
Well, you have to be a little more cash happy or have more availability on cash if you're going to start investing in larger communities like your twoplex, fourplex, sixplexes, 32-unit apartments. Again, not a bad investment. I don't know that I would suggest that when you're younger to do that, unless you are, again, pretty cash heavy, because things happen. Now you've got 4 people that you're depending on to make payments, to collect rent from, to not burn the place down. So there's a lot of screws that go into that panel, as opposed to you just buying a home when you're younger and taking care of you.
Yep. So I have a question. Is this a myth? If I were to buy an apartment building, right, and I bought it for, let's say, $300,000 because the economy's down, let's say the actual value is $900,000, just shy of $1 million. If that place were to burn down, would the insurance company give me the actual property value worth when it was built and on the piece of land at that time?
Typically, a good insurance company or good insurance representative will have you pay the premium that would pay you out for the value of the building to rebuild it. In other words, who cares if you pay $300,000 for it? If it's a property that's worth $1 million, you want insurance to cover $1 million because $300,000 is not going to rebuild that property.
Yep.
Okay. So if your insurance company says you pay $300,000, pay insurance on $300,000, I would start looking for a new insurance agency. You want the one that's going to be proactive and say, what if this happens, you are covered to where you are going to recoup or you're going to be rewarded for your efforts of buying that fourplex into whether it's yesterday's market or today's market.
Yep. Now, are you the type of person that is if you don't have if you don't have cash, or how should I put this? Are you the type of person that you suggest people to just buy a house straight out in cash? Are you the type of person that suggests try and get the lowest that you can pay it on, or the full 20%, like everybody says, put 20% down on the house? So, what kind of person are you when it comes to that?
Okay. So I'm the person that says, do what you can, just do it, okay? So there are different ways to buy a home. Number one, you can put that 20% down and you're avoiding MIP, which is mortgage insurance premium, okay? So if you can avoid paying that, do it. But do you want to drain all of your cash flow, your emergency money to do so? That's something a person has to weigh themselves.
Yep.
When it comes to leveraging, even if you had, let's say you were buying that $100,000 house and you had $100,000 in a bank, would I suggest you taking that $100,000 out of your bank account and buying that house cash? I would not. Number one, a home can be a wonderful tax shelter. Okay? Number two, why not leverage? Especially in today's market, look at interest rates. Anything over 3% is high.
Yeah.
You're talking 2.1, 2.3. You're getting wonderful interest rates. Why not leverage? And leveraging other people's money, the bank's money, is the way to go.
Would you say, okay, so I don't know about right now, but did our government lower the interest rates too low? And that's what's causing this kind of bubble and almost inflation with our market right now across America? Or do you think the low interest rate is a good thing?
Being in the real estate industry, I think it's a good thing.
Okay.
It's a good thing, especially for people that set their roots into owning property.
Yep.
You're owning a piece of a city. Your ties with that city would absolutely be amazing. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
Yep.
And when you've got your ties into that city, more than likely your family's going to be raised there. Your kids are born there. They're growing up there. They're utilizing the schools. You're utilizing businesses. You're walking into coffee shops and you're getting coffee. You're buying lunch. Why not have those roots in? And if lower interest rates is what allows you to put those roots in the ground, then so be it. I'm loving the low interest rates. It allows you to buy more home as well.
Yep. And I kind of like it too. Some people would say that it is a bad thing, but I don't think it is. I really don't.
Well, what's the alternative? Interest rates going to 23%?
Yeah.
Do we want that?
No.
Or, yeah. because it would basically kill our market.
Yep.
You would find yourself buying a smaller home that's inadequate, that you're not going to be happy with, but yet you're still earning equity. But you're miserable as, can I say hell?
You can say whatever you want.
You're miserable as hell because it's not the property for you, but it's the property you can afford.
Yeah. And for somebody like myself, you know, like we spoke before, so I'm looking at buying a couple different, you know, multiple apartment buildings, and I think a lower interest rate would help me out, you know, because if I were to buy this like 5 years ago, you know, if I did get approved, you know, because we haven't even jumped through that hurdle yet, because I'm so young, I think that I would probably have like a 23%, you know, interest rate, you know, and I'm just like, that sounds like hell. You know?
Oh, it is. It's
So-
scary.
So I'm kind of glad that where they're at right now is awesome. I don't understand why do you think some people are kind of like upset about the low interest rates, and they think that it's actually causing a huge inflation in our market? What do you think it is?
Oh my gosh. First of all, people are people, and you're never going to make everybody happy, or you're never going to get everybody in sync or in agreement.
Yeah.
People, if they want to find wrong in anything, they'll do it. And so you've got most people that can walk around feeling blessed that interest rates are low. You're going to find the ones that are going to go, oh my God, that's the problem with this world. The interest rates are low.
Yeah.
So it's, honestly, again, for me, everything around me speaks to loving the low.
I like that. Real quick, commercial break. We are at the station. This is on Broadway, right across from Simonson. Can you see Simonson in the background, Dustin?
Not really.
Okay, right across from Simonson. This place was established this year. Super awesome place, really cool hangout area. The thing I like about this place is it gives me this vibe of this California coffee shop that I was at this year. I went back in April, and I kind of liked it, and I think Minot needs something like this for kind of, you know, it's available for anybody to hang out, but at the same time, this is awesome if you are in college, in high school, hanging out with friends. The station, come check them out on Broadway. We're gonna grab coffee after this. I think so. So, moving forward, what keeps you motivated? If you guys didn't already know as well, Ashia stays up till like 3 a.m. every day and wakes up at like 8:30.
Earlier than that.
So earlier than that, yeah. When I first met you, I realized how much you work, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and you've been doing this for how long? You know, it's pretty awesome. I would say it's very inspiring to see that. You know, it kind of pushed me to work as hard as I can. I don't think I'm that used to it, because I did kind of like, I'd like die for a minute and have to come back. But what keeps you moving every day?
Oh boy, passion. The love for what I do. The love for helping people. When you help that person that's in some kind of peril, doesn't matter what kind of peril it is. And you can have some kind of an answer, whether it's words, whether it's inspiration, whether it's given that motivational speak. You know, motivation has to come from within. A lot of that motivation from within comes from love. Love for what you do, love for your community, love for the people around you, love for your family and friends. And so when I do what I do, which is pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it feels like most times, I don't feel like I'm working. I feel like I'm helping. And a feeling of helping for me is different than a feeling of working. Yes, anybody can take the word work and go, oh, that's work. That doesn't even sound right. And it doesn't sound good. It doesn't pull on your heartstrings. But when you say, hey, my seller needs help. or this buyer needs to get her family to a better place. How am I going to help her do that? Oh, I'm going to help her do that by looking for properties that fit her need and getting her out into those properties. What happens after that? Oh, we have to write an offer. I'm so excited that we found a property that will fit her and her children's needs. Now that we've got that property, let's go for it. Okay, now we got to go through the buying process. Now we got to talk to the lenders. We got to talk to the inspectors. Now we have to talk to the appraisers. So it's all something that ties in. Yes, it's WORK, but it's also HELP. And so if you think of it that way, I'm helping her get to a better place for her and her kids. It really doesn't feel like work.
I like that. And then who's one person in your life that has motivated you the most? It could be anybody. It could be family. It can be somebody famous that you looked up to in the past. Who's that person for you? Let everybody know.
Okay. Sometimes that motivation can come just the opposite of, a lot of people look at this person is succeeding, or this person, in my eyes, are a total success. I'm going to follow in their footsteps. Or you can go just the opposite. And when I look back at my mother in my eyes and in my memory was one of the smartest women on earth. I mean, just smart as a whip, but just never really had a career. And I say that because technically she was an expert at raising 9 kids. So could we feasibly call that a career, right? But I think she would have been that perfect entrepreneur. I really do. She never went for it, but because she didn't, I think that's what inspires me to go the opposite way. My mother could have been this, but wasn't, so now I am. I am what she would have been. And so that motivation comes just different than probably most would be. A lot of people look at their dads and they go, my dad was strong, my dad could fix anything, and I want to be like my dad. I pulled from a certain inspiration from my mother, but just not that entrepreneurial piece from her. I know she was amazing. I know she could do anything she put her mind to do. But her focus was just different than mine. So I do feel I was an absolutely amazing mother as well. But I also had that side piece. That makes me smile because my mom, she works hard. I just called her and she just got done working like 70 hours, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it. She loves her job. She loves helping. She's a registered nurse out in North Carolina, and I spoke to you about her before, and she's still working out 4 a.m. Don't know how she does it, but I'm just like, you do your thing, and I think I get that drive from her. I think she's the one who has that entrepreneurial. I know she could be an entrepreneur, and I hope she goes for it. I know she's gonna watch this, so so we'll see what happens. But I know it's. I don't know if it's something that you have to be born with. But I definitely think it comes with time if you're not born with it, and it just takes time. Everything takes time, right? I don't know. It's kind of a hard thing to kind of explain, like how to become an entrepreneur, or how to be an entrepreneur. It just comes from within, So yeah, but that's interesting. I'm glad that your mom is one who motivates you. So yeah. Any other thing you can think of, Dustin? How long are we at?
25 minutes? Yeah, extra 5 minutes.
I will tell you one thing that I hear all the time is, you're such a great salesperson. I'm not a salesperson. Well, I'm here to tell you, I was born, I was spanked on the ass, just like you were, more than likely. And I wasn't born with a salesperson sign on my forehead, right? Nor were you. And so when people say to me, I can't do what you do, you know, I think those words should be, I don't want to do what you do.
Yes. Okay, perfect. I love that you brought that up because a kid came up to me, he said, I'm not doing good in, my language arts class. And I told him, I said, this was recent, this was like a couple days ago, we were watching a football game. And I said, what's the problem, And he's just like, well, I've just never been good at language arts, And I'm like, well, he said that he wasn't smart. And I said, no, it's not that you're not smart. It's just you're not into it. You just don't want to do it, And he's in high school, and we had a big debate about this, I think right now in high school, we're forcing kids to do things that they don't want or they're not into. Versus, why not ask them what they are into? Because to me, that's how you produce the best people. Same thing for work, the work environment. I would say throughout my work experience, my short work experience, I've been in a lot of sales jobs and retail jobs, and I've succeeded. I've met company standards and hit records before, and I think I've gotten the same thing, where people are like, I can't do that. And I'm like, you can, I just don't think you're as motivated as I am to go and get it. You know what I mean? And I'm just a motivated person in life. Every day that God gives me the opportunity to wake up, that it starts. It starts now. And as I say this, I was late this morning, so it's just like, I don't know how you're gonna.
I wasn't thinking that. Okay.
Well, Dustin's probably thinking that. I'm messing around. Yeah, like I'm just ready to go. Every minute I have to squeeze. And I wish I had more time in the day, but I see why we have 24 hours. One person said, Neil deGrasse Tyson. He said, I forgot who he was talking to. I just recently saw this. They asked, would you want to live forever? And the other guy said, yes. So then he laughs, and then he says, well, that's a great idea. It's what is it? It's kind of an attractive idea, but the fact that you only have 24 hours, and we only live to, let's say, 75, 80 years old, that is more. You'll put more value in life, because if you could live forever, you would sit in bed almost every day, because you knew that you had tomorrow. So knowing that you don't have tomorrow, that's what also drives me. And I kind of went off on a tangent there, but I hope you can agree as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did want to say is, when people think they don't have the ability to do something, that's what stops them. That's what stops them dead in their tracks. And so the one piece of advice that I could give you, anybody else, a lot of people walk around scared. You have that fear, okay? Fear, by the way, is false evidence appearing real. So fear is different from being scared. So fear is kind of like fictitious. So if you have a fear of doing something, going for it, and you can't get rid of that fear, do it scared.
That's actually really good. That's I like that. Steve Harvey once said, if you still got, or if you jump the cliff or not, to go and do what you got to do, you still have bills to pay. So don't be scared to do it, you know. I just remember him speaking about that because there's this one lady that said, "Oh, Steve, I got bills to pay, you know, I have people to feed, you know." Yeah, you still got to do that whether you jump the cliff or not, you know. So are you going to do it, or are you going to sit back and be scared, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of goes along the lines of him as well. So I like that. All right, Ashia. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. This is the Brewing Wealth Podcast, episode 5 with Ashia Vadell. This was awesome. Don't forget, show up at the station on Broadway. Awesome coffee, and we're gonna go grab some right now. So have a good one. Wait. Forgot. We always fist bump. All right, have a good one.